Good morning. How are you all today? Thank you for visiting with us, and welcome to Bible class with Andre and Betty. We're continuing our studies today from First Kings chapter, from the book of First Kings, and today we're in chapter 9, looking at God's response to Solomon's prayer, or God responding to Solomon's prayer. And this is also confirmed in 2 Chronicles, the 7th chapter, verses 12 through 22. And it begins, and it came to pass, when Solomon had finished the building of the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all Solomon's desire, which he was pleased to do, that the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time, as he had appeared unto him at Gibeon. And that's where, at Gibeon, is where Solomon asks for understanding and wisdom about how to lead the nation Israel. Verse 3, and the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication that thou hast made before me. So then, this is God responding to Solomon's prayer. I have hallowed or made holy this house, or consecrated this house, the temple, which thou hast built, to put my name there forever. And mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually, or from here on out. But in the later verses, the next few verses, we'll see the condition of God keeping his hand on this house and his heart on this house continually. You'll see the difference in the next few verses. Verse 4, this is the first condition. And if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments, then I will establish, when you do this, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. And that man will be Jesus, when he comes in the New Testament in Matthew and Luke, the genealogy of Jesus. Now here's the other condition. But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but you go and serve other gods and worship them, then, verse 7, will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight. And Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. Now they failed, and this happened. God cut them off into captivity in the prophecy of Jeremiah, and Israel was cut off. The northern kingdom was cut off to Assyria, and the southern kingdom went into Babylon. And it is then that the prophecies go into the time period of the church or the church age. But Israel right now has been set aside while God is calling out a people for his name during this day of grace. Verse 8. And at this house which is high, everyone that passeth by it shall be astonished, and hiss or whisper, and they shall say, why hath the Lord done thus unto this land and to this house, the temple? And they shall answer, the people shall answer, because they, that is the nation Israel, forsook the Lord their God, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them, and served them. Therefore hath the Lord brought upon them this evil, that is, sending them under Gentile rule, beginning with Nebuchadnezzar. Now, words about who Solomon and how he behaved initially as king. Verse 10. And it came to pass at the end of 20 years, when Solomon had built 2 houses, the house of the Lord and the king's house. And then parenthesis, verse 11. Now Hiram, the king of Tyre, that had furnished Solomon with cedar trees and fir trees, and with gold, according to all his desire, that then King Solomon gave Hiram 20 cities in the land of Galilee. So Galilee consists of 20 cities, and Nazareth, Capernaum, and Cana stand out in the New Testament where Jesus ministered. Verse 12. And Hiram came out from Tyre to see the cities which Solomon had given him, and they pleased him not. And Hiram said, what cities are these which thou hast given me, my brother? And he called them, that is, the cities of Galilee, he called them the land of Kabul unto this day. And that means the land is good for nothing. Verse 14. And that's why Nathanael in John chapter 1 asks, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? And Hiram sent to the king 60 talents of gold. That's the amount that he had sent to King Solomon. Verse 15. And this is the reason for the levy which King Solomon raised, for to build the house of the Lord and his own house, and Milo, which is a place to store weapons of war, and the wall of Jerusalem, and Hazor, and Megiddo, and Jazer. Solomon raised the levy of men to work on building the nation Israel and the people that would help them during their years in Canaan land, even including Egypt. Verse 16. For Pharaoh, king of Egypt, had gone up and taken Jazer and burnt it with fire, and slain the Canaanites that dwell in the city, and give it for a present unto his daughter, Solomon's wife, which is she and others are going to be the downfall of Solomon, because he's going to start idol worshiping for those 900 wives and 300 concubines. Verse 17. And Solomon built Jezar and Beth Horon the Nether, and Baalath and Tadmor in the wilderness in the land. And back to the levy, that is the draft of men who's going to work under the leadership of Solomon, also their taxes that they will have to pay. Verse 19, and all the cities of store, this is what they're going to be building, that Solomon had, and cities for his chariots, and which Solomon desired to, let's see, reading verse 19 again, and all the cities of store that Solomon had, the storehouses where Solomon had, and cities for his chariots, and cities for his horsemen, and that which Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem and in Lebanon, and in all the land of his dominion, or his governing, or his leadership. Verse 20, and all the people that were left of the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, which were not of the children of Israel. Verse 21, their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy, upon those did Solomon levy a tribute of bond service, slave labor, unto this day. Verse 22, but of the children of Israel did Solomon make no bondmen, but they were men of war, and his servants, and his princes, and his captains, and rulers of his chariots, and his horsemen. Verse 23, these were the chief of the officers that were over Solomon's work. Now this is the levy, 550, which bear rule over the people that wrought in the work. But Pharaoh, verse 24, but Pharaoh's daughter came up out of the city of David unto her house, which Solomon had built for her. Then did he build Millo, and 3 times in a year did Solomon offer burnt offerings and peace offerings upon the altar, which he built unto the Lord. And he burnt incense upon the altar that was before the Lord. So he finished the house, and until this was completed. Verse 26, and King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion-Geber, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea, in the land of Edom, of the land of Seir. Verse 27, and Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea, with the servants of Solomon. And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold 420 talents, and brought it to King Solomon. So all the nations around that Solomon governed, they had to bring their money and animals and silver and gold to King Solomon, and the tribute, they would have to pay taxes out of those amounts possessions. And so we'll see next time that the visit from the Queen of Sheba. And this is all so interesting to me, but it takes a lot of detail, a lot of the details. You have to take time to search the scriptures to see if those things that I'm teaching are true, and any other teachers. So you all be good, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.